boy DEEBOCK, and you are now tuned in to the highly anticipated episode 7 of My Thoughts. For this episode, I mean this more than ever. I'm truly excited. A lot of things transpired over the week. We got Tyler Herro and Bam Adebayo getting into an altercation. Kawhi Leonard's trade to the Toronto Raptors gets postponed. The Chicago Bulls have a new superstar rookie, and he wants to be a Chicago Bull. And we also got things happening in the WWE. Obafemi puts Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman on notice. The contract signing between Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. All that and more in this episode of My Thoughts. To kick things off, we transition to the NBA. As reportedly, Tyler Herro got punched in the face by Bam Adebayo for some comments that he made in regards to Bam Adebayo's massive contract extension on social media. Tyler Herro tweeted, "I'm just wondering, should an elite defender be making $60 million a year? Who did Cleveland prioritize taking away in the playoffs? I'm the one that needs help, not the other guy." Yo, somebody tell Tyler Herro that if you're going to talk shit about somebody on social media, make sure that's somebody you can fuck up if you see them in person. Bam Adebayo is bigger than you, stronger than you, faster than you. Why the fuck is you talking shit about Bam? Bam could kill you, nigga. Like, the fuck? Come on, bruh. You know what it is? Tyler Herro had a perception of Bam Adebayo like, he's my teammate for 7 years. He a nice guy. He ain't gonna do nothing to me. So I could just start popping off at the mouth, saying whatever I like about whatever I like. It ain't nothing gonna happen to me. Because Bam is a nice guy. Let me tell you what happened. Tyler Herro took that nice guy demeanor for granted. And Bam Adebayo, he let him know, I ain't the one you could just say whatever you feel like about. How you gonna say, should an elite defender be making $60 million a year? You minimizing his contribution to the team. Bam Adebayo is a great player. An elite defender, like you said, he could defend all 5 positions on the floor. Point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center. He's improved his 3-point shot. He's one of the most athletic players to ever touch an NBA basketball court. He could play make. And the man just recently is coming off a season where he scored 83 in an NBA game. You could say, yeah, but it was against the Washington Wizards. 83 points in the NBA level is difficult. Can't minimize that man's accomplishment. And Tyler Herro, the hell are you doing, man? Maybe he knows now going forward to watch his mouth. Where will LeBron James bring his talents? Reportedly, it's come down to a few teams in the running: the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Golden State Warriors, the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the Philadelphia 76ers. Now let's go through each team. Starting with his hometown team, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cleveland, they got James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, Max Strus, who I like, Evan Mobley, who I like. He still has yet to put it all together, but I'm a fan of Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen. There's one problem if he goes to Cleveland that I don't see anybody bringing any attention to. Who's going to handle the ball? You got three ball handlers in James Harden, LeBron James, and Donovan Mitchell. As much as I like the idea of him going to Cleveland, it just doesn't seem like a good fit based on the way that they're currently constructed. It'll probably be entertaining for nostalgia purposes, for the king to come home. But in reality, how far do we see the Cavaliers making it in the Eastern Conference? They could probably be about top 4 at best. To me, they still wouldn't be better than the Knicks. They still wouldn't be better than the Celtics. They still wouldn't be better than the Sixers, even with LeBron James. Because we're talking about a 42-year-old LeBron James. He needs all the help he can get. And as of recent years, the further they get in the playoffs, the smaller the superstars in James Harden and Donovan Mitchell become. I just don't believe that team will have what it takes to hoist up an NBA championship. And then we talk about Golden State. Reuniting with Steph Curry since the first time in the Olympics, Team USA was great. That was Team USA. Now we playing in the NBA where LeBron James is 42 years old. Steph Curry is, I believe, about 36, 37. And what comes to mind if he potentially goes to Golden State is what's going to happen with my favorite player, Jimmy Butler. They just told Jimmy that they weren't going to trade him. Now, we've seen organizations not keep their word and still backdoor players and get them out of the organization. Not that I don't believe that Golden State won't be an entertaining team. I just question at this point in their careers, does Steph Curry and LeBron James have what it takes to come together and win an NBA championship. It takes a lot to win a championship. You're in the Western Conference. You'd be going against Wembanyama, SGA, the Minnesota Timberwolves. I mean, for what it's worth, you still got KD on the Houston Rockets. So I don't know what LeBron James on Golden State at this point in his career would actually look like. It'll probably be entertaining to see him and Steph play together. Two of the greatest players of all time on one basketball court. You got the elite shooting of Steph Curry with the playmaking and freak train ability of LeBron James to get to the basket. It'll be entertaining. I just don't know if they'll win a championship. And here's where I think he should go. The Philadelphia 76ers. Why? Because he'd be pairing himself with newly acquired Jaylen Brown, who's recently coming off an MVP caliber season. Joel Embiid, when healthy, Joel Embiid, to me, in my personal opinion, is the best center in the NBA. Sorry, Jokic. Sorry, Wemby. Embiid is my guy. He's an all-around player. Plays on both ends of the floor. He could play in the post. He could play in the high post. And he could shoot the three. And he's a great free throw shooter. You pair that with young rookie VJ Edgecombe, who already is considered one of the best knockdown three-point shooters in the league. And it was only his first year. So you got VJ Edgecombe, and you got my young boy, Tyrese Maxey, one of my favorite point guards in the league, been one of my favorite point guards in the league for quite a while, can play, make, shoot the three, get into the lane, finish at the rim. Tyrese Maxey has propelled himself into a superstar in the NBA. You put LeBron James in that starting lineup with that group, tell me why they're not at the least automatic finals appearance. I'll even take it a step further. They might even make the finals even if Joel Embiid gets hurt. They have the potential to be that good, in my opinion. There's only one place for LeBron James to go if he wants to win another NBA championship, and that's Philadelphia. Kawhi Leonard trade postponed? The Kawhi Leonard trade to the Toronto Raptors has been postponed. The league is doing an investigation into the Los Angeles Clippers to see whether or not they circumvented the salary cap by sending Kawhi Leonard money through his endorsement deal with Aspiration. I'm gonna be honest, they probably did that shit. They probably did that shit. Usually, when there's smoke, there's fire. And I smell smoke. Steve Ballmer, man, you probably see more money than I'll ever see in my lifetime, but you got caught, bruh. You tried to give Kawhi Leonard a few extra dollars discreetly. The league caught you. Worst case scenario, the Raptors, they'll just have to pay the fees and the fines and whatever comes with it. As long as they get their newly acquired superstar, the fuck is the problem? Because that's really what matters here. Kawhi Leonard in Toronto again, this time with Scotty Barnes, RJ Barrett, Jakob Poeltl, Emmanuel Quickley, automatically catapult themselves to be a top team in the Eastern Conference. They need Kawhi Leonard to take them to the next level. And if they don't get him, because the Clippers tried to be sneaky and give Kawhi a few extra million, I would be pissed if I'm the Raptors fan base. Because you might have just lost out on your chance to win the NBA championship. The Chicago Bulls have a new superstar rookie, and his name is Caleb Wilson. Summer League, Caleb Wilson has been lighting on fire. His first game, which I saw the highlights of, he scored 35 points with 5 blocks. This young bull was doing it all. Getting in the lane, finishing at the rim, step back 3. The Bulls may have finally got them one. A superstar that's proud to be a Chicago Bull. And he wants the pressure of playing for the Chicago Bulls. He embraces it. That's what I admire most of all. Lord knows the franchise has been craving this ever since the Derrick Rose era. Somebody to give the Chicago Bulls an identity that we can be proud of. Give us a reason to watch Chicago Bulls games again. Give us a reason to root for this franchise again. Caleb Wilson, I'll be watching every game and I'll be cheering you on, young man. I'm glad to have you in the franchise. Transitioning to the WWE, Raw kicks off with Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar making their way to the ring with security. Paul Heyman says, Obafemi, you're like an obsessed stalker ex-girlfriend. You're obsessed with Brock Lesnar. And he also takes it a step further by calling him a Nigerian dummy. Yo, I love Paul Heyman. I love Paul Heyman, man. Paul Heyman is like the modern day Don King selling the superstar fight. He refers to the ruler, Obafemi, as a Nigerian dummy stalker ex-girlfriend. You know that wasn't going to sit well with Obafemi. Obafemi makes his way to the ring. But Paul Heyman says, I even took it a step further and got a restraining order against you. As Paul and Brock leave the ring, the security form a line in front of Obafemi. Like you see the bald dude trying to look all tough. He was the first one to go. Bald dude was the first one to go. Obafemi lift this motherfucker up so high and threw him so far outside the ring, I thought that motherfucker was gonna go to another planet. I swear to God, he threw that motherfucker so high and so hard out that ring. I know they professionally trained, but that shit had to hurt. Bald dude, he took the hardest bump. Oba made light of every other member of the security, tossing dudes out left and right. Grabs the microphone and says, Brock used to run this place. Now all you do is run away. SummerSlam, no more games, no more running. You can't run from the ruler. You can't run from the destroyer. You can't run from Obafemi. SummerSlam, Obafemi, Brock Lesnar 3, inside of a Hell in the Cell. We finally settled it. Who will walk out on top? Will it be the Beast or will it be the ruler? I'm excited either way, man. I'm hoping for the Hell in a Cell match to have a spot where Obafemi and Brock Lesnar, at some point, for the first time in years, find themselves on top of the cell. I know, DEEBOCK, you wishfully thinking. But think about how catastrophically awesome it would be if you see the image of Brock Lesnar, Obafemi exchanging blows on top of the cell. That'd be an iconic memory for SummerSlam all within itself. And that'll take the match to the next level. I can't wait for Oba and Brock 3 to take place inside of the Hell in a Cell. Then we had a match between Io Sky and one of my favorite superstars, Roxanne Perez. Prodigy, I feel like she gets overshadowed because she's in the Judgment Day. But in my opinion, she's one of my favorite superstars. One of the best in-ring workers in the WWE. Has natural charisma, in-ring ability. She's great at selling with her facial expressions and her body language. And I hope at some point she does get the push she deserves. But in this match, she took on another one of my favorite performers, Io Sky. And this match was great, man. Going into it, both of these women were tied 1-1 against each other. So this match was the tiebreaker. And from start to finish, you could feel the electricity in the Dallas American Airlines Arena. Roxanne performed great heel work attacking the knee of Io Sky. Then Io Sky was able to rally through it, find herself on the top rope, deliver a drop kick, right? Then she goes for her knees at the turnbuckle. Roxanne moves out the way. At some point during the match, Liv Morgan is onlooking the entire ordeal, and you can see, this is why I love Liv. The facial expressions on her face, her acting ability is top notch. Her lip was quivering as Io Sky began to rally. Io Sky picked up the roll-up victory on Roxanne Perez. Judgment Day then interfered. Sol Ruka comes out to assist Io Sky, and she's caught in mid-air by Raquel Rodriguez. Raquel Rodriguez just flings this bitch, boom, into the steel post. You can hear the thud. I thought this bitch was dead. Raquel Rodriguez picked this bitch up, threw her, boom. I'm like, God damn. I'm like, nah, that shit sounded painful. Then Io Sky gets distracted by Sol Ruka getting powerbombed by Raquel Rodriguez. And then Liv Morgan delivers Oblivion. After the Oblivion, Roxanne and Raquel hold up Io Sky. Liv Morgan says, Io, you want my title? This is the closest you gonna get to my title. Smacked her in the face. I'm like, oh, nah, I fuck with Liv, yo. I fuck with Liv. She said, Roxanne and Raquel, hold her up. Liv Morgan steps back. Here's Io Sky. Boom! In the face. with the Women's World Championship. She holds the belt up and says, I'm the greatest women's champion of all time. Now you got me invested in Io Sky and Liv Morgan. Now I want to see the next chapter to this feud. The way that arena was rocking, the way Liv Morgan, her arrogance, you got her looking like the boss Dawn. The way she smacked Io in the face and then hit her with the championship and said, this is the closest you're going to get to my title. Now I want to watch Io versus Liv at SummerSlam. Now they're cooking with grease. They did this Intercontinental Championship gauntlet. Had competitors like Dominic Mysterio, Joe Hendry, Rusev, Javon Evans, Dragon Lee, all participate for an opportunity to face Penta at SummerSlam for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, I watched this match, and I'm heartbroken for Javon Evans. Like the WWE, they know how to take you on a roller coaster ride. They know that the fans want to see Javon Evans finally become Intercontinental Champion, finally take that next step, finally see the bouncy boy hold up some gold. And boy, did they tease us in this match until in the end, Javon Evans was eliminated. It came down to Ethan Page and Chad Gable. Chad Gable was able to pick up an ankle lock victory on All Ego. And we're going to see Chad Gable in his hometown of Minneapolis take on the man with zero fear, Penta, for the Intercontinental Championship. The writing is on the wall. Chad Gable's going to be in his hometown. This is the redemption story of Chad Gable, and he's going to become your new Intercontinental Champion. It's a beautiful thing. Chad Gable, one of the better in-ring workers, finally getting his just due, finally getting his props, finally getting the strap around his waist. But let me tell you this. When they make Chad Gable the Intercontinental Champion, the first man up as a contender for that championship better be Javon Evans. We transition to a segment with the Vision as they come out, your new World Tag Team Champions, Braun Breaker and Austin Theory. And guess who's with them? Austin Theory new on-screen girlfriend, Maxine Dupree. So Maxine Dupree, Austin Theory, Logan Paul, and Braun Breaker all make their way to the ring. Logan Paul, make some noise for your new World Tag Team Champions. interrupted, surprisingly, by Otis and Tozawa. They come out. Maxine, how could you do this? How could you leave us? You don't even know this guy. What are you doing with this guy? They actually play into the angle of Otis having hidden feelings for Maxine. Austin Theory's like, you can't be serious. A guy like you, she wouldn't date a guy like you fat, disgusting loser. You don't deserve anybody. But Maxine tells Austin and you'll calm down, like he's a good guy. So they play into the angle of at some point Maxine actually grabs Otis's face and acts like she's gonna kiss him. And you could tell, like, based off her facial expression, when she was grabbing his face and like she was in the kissing position, you could tell just based off her facial muscles, she didn't want to do that shit. Like you could tell, bruh. She did not want to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? So Austin Theory comes from behind and delivers a low blow to Otis. So they start just scrapping it out. Otis and Tozawa, Braun Breaker, and Austin Theory. At some point, Otis starts to rally. Gets the one-on-one with Austin Theory. Distraction. Braun Breaker is able to deliver a spear to Otis, leaving him laid out, middle of the ring. Maxine says, there will never be a us. Oh, I like that. Just put that motherfucker to the mat. There will never be a us. Woo! Man, I like Maxine Dupree with the vision, man. She get a vision, a different type of flavor, a different type of swag, different type of edge, different type of energy. It seems like the WWE is gearing up in the direction of Otis and Tozawa versus Austin Theory and Braun Breaker, which I'm really not that excited about because we know how that shit gonna play out. We know how that shit gonna play out. Do we really see Otis and Tozawa beating Braun Breaker and Austin Theory? No. That's laughable. That's pathetic. That would never happen. So this is just a jobber tag team. You could feed division in the meantime. And I have mixed emotions about it. I like Maxine Dupree along with the vision. It gives her flavor, swagger, and an identity. But on the inverse, it also it may hurt this powerful faction we once seen in the vision. Going into a feud other than Tozawa would be a step down. This is the vision. Like Seth Rollins was world champion when he was the leader. Now y'all got the World Tag Team Championships and you feuding with mid Carters and Otis and Cesaro. Just seems like a step down for one of my favorite factions, man. I know they're gonna have to do it for the Maxine Dupree angle, but I'll be interested to see what happens after this. Paul Heyman meets the Vision backstage. Says, all you guys did a great job, Maxine, Austin Theory, Logan Paul, Braun Breaker. So much so. What do you need me for? It seems as though Paul Heyman realizes that Austin Theory and Braun Breaker and Logan Paul, they doing their own thing. They got everything under control, and they don't need him anymore. The Vision without Paul Heyman. I don't know, man. I'm not liking it. It's supposed to be Paul Heyman's vision, like of young stars. What is the Vision without Paul Heyman? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think this is on a downward spiral slowly. I hope I'm wrong. Roman Reigns makes his way to the arena in his nice limousine truck and his newly OTC t-shirt with his image on the front. Arm held out. Give me my championship. I like that shit. Arm held out championship. Put that shit on his shoulder. Goes out to the ring. Dallas, Texas. Acknowledge me. Everybody, boy. Everybody in that arena had their finger up like this. But it's getting to the point where he don't even gotta put his one up for the fans to put their one up. Soon as he come out, once is up. Like, Roman Reigns is the most over heel that we ever seen. The whole arena loves him, yo. He just got this irresistible cool factor that people just can't get enough of. So he sits down in his chair and waits for Seth Rollins to make his way to the ring for the contract signing for the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam. Burn it down! Seth in his all black button up pants. Oh, 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 makes his way to the ring. Right? Roman says, Seth Rollins, you're like my second hand. That y'all love Roman Reigns, bruh. He's so smug and arrogant, but it works. Seth Rollins, you're my second hand. They tried to put everything around you. They gave you all my stuff. Still didn't work for you. Every time they put the belt on you, you end up getting hurt. Seth Rollins gets in Roman's face. I know who I am. I had to come to terms with everything I've been through and everything I did to get back here at this point. And I would never want to be like you. And you can see Roman Reigns' face like, yo, that's bullshit. You know, you eat, you sleep, you breathe. You want to be like me. You wish you could be like me, motherfucker. You envy me so much. Roman not buying it for a second. I love Roman Reigns, his facial expressions, his swagger, his energy, his confidence, his bravado on the mic, man. I commend him so much. Then see both men get into it. Exchange blows. Seth says, get up. He actually hits Roman with a pedigree. Seth delivers a pedigree. No, they were exchanging blows. Roman tried to deliver a Superman punch. Pedigree by Seth Rollins ultimately ended in a curve stop to Roman Reigns. Not for 1 second. You couldn't give me enough money to believe that Seth Rollins is going to lose. I'm sorry, is going to beat Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. You couldn't give me enough money to believe that Seth Rollins is going to beat Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. Roman is right. Seth Rollins is his number 2. They gave him everything. They gave him the faction with the vision. They gave him Paul Heyman. They put the belt on him. And what happened? He got hurt. We've seen this Seth Rollins story play out time and time again. He just can't hold up when it's his time to shine. And watch it this time be any different. So yeah, I got Roman Reigns winning the World Heavyweight Championship match against Seth Rollins at SummerSlam. It's gonna be a great match. I just don't see at this point why would you try again with Seth Rollins when you already know how things can potentially play out. Say what you want about Roman Reigns. It's redundant. We've seen the bloodline angle already. He's reliable and dependable. And you can't say that about Seth Rollins. And you're always going to go with the guy that's going to be there because he's going to be there. I feel like the best ability is availability. But I'm anticipating this match. The history between these two, between the Shield, up until present day, In the beginning, Roman was following Seth's lead. Now Roman's ascended to the top guy. He's calling the shots. He's the face of the company, the most popular guy in the business. I'm anticipating this match, man. Just for the nostalgia, the years of build up. Should be a great match. Now, I wanted to touch on a personal subject matter. And this episode of My Thoughts was delayed this week, right? And I wanted to get into why exactly that was. Um Now, I was going through a lot because I used to hire escorts. Just to have someone to hang out with me. My life felt so repetitive and redundant. At the same time, I was looking for a sense of excitement and escape. Paying for the professional time and company gave me exactly that, a temporary break from my routine. But honestly, it became addictive. That thrill of a quick escape from reality became something that I started to rely on way too much. It started to take a toll on my bank account, so much so that I resorted to gambling in order to replenish my lost funds. And that became completely separate of a downward spiral. I tried to feed one vice with another one. Finally, I ended up getting a hold of my finances. I stopped sports gambling. Took a break from paying for escorts. Replenished my funds. Got up to date in my rent. Started saving my money. Fixed my credit. Came a long way. Started creating my content again, talking about my passions, writing my music, making my podcast. Slowly but surely, I've rebuilt myself. But this past week, I relapsed into gambling. Why? I don't know. I guess the thrill of the temptation just got the best of me. And I placed a bet recently. I'm not gonna go into the details of what it was or how much it was for, but I'm gonna just say that, I feel like I betrayed myself, man. I feel like my the current version of myself betrayed the future version of myself. The current version of myself that I am betrayed the man that I'm trying to become. So I went through a slight period of depression about, my actions because it took a lot of work to get back here. It took a lot of work to have the confidence in myself to make this content again. It took a lot of work to have the confidence in myself to launch this podcast, do this music, to do everything that you see me doing. And I felt really down on myself because, I had a moment of weakness and I gave into it. And I'm human, man. Just know that, like, I'm not perfect. I'm a man living in the Bronx with cerebral palsy. You know, I come from a background of poverty. And I'm just trying to make a way out on my own terms. Because in my mind, you only live once. And I'm not trying to be regular. I'm not trying to be average. I'm not trying to be like everybody else, get a regular job and just live a regular life. This is the one life I get. I want it to be extraordinary, memorable. Understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to inspire people in the same position like myself, have cerebral palsy. I'm in a wheelchair. The expectation is for people like me in my position not to be anything. I'm trying to defy that narrative and that perception by the world, but I'm a human being. I have flaws and vices and insecurities, and sometimes they get the best of me, be honest, but I'm working to be better every day, man. I'm working to be better every day. And that concludes episode 7 of My Thoughts. It's your boy DEEBOCK. I'm out.